Hello, English learners. Welcome back to the Film Club podcast series. Today we're talking about I Swear, this film about Tourette's syndrome, a real story about a man with Tourette's. And the question I want to answer is, do you agree that many films today have no nutritional value? And of course I do agree with that, but I want to separate two things, and it's the films that we enjoy, films that are cool, films that are awesome, but don't really give us anything, and maybe even are kind of bad for us and rot our brains a little bit. So there's those kinds of films, and I give the example of Pulp Fiction. And then there are also films which are just not fun to watch at all, which are just boring and crap, like Meet the Parents, which I talk about in another blog. Of course, this is just my taste. I'm sure lots of people enjoy Meet the Parents. I think my parents like Meet the Parents, actually. So a very interesting question is, why are films so bad nowadays? Why can't people just make good films? I do not think that there is any shortage of great filmmakers, great script writers, all of the people that could make fantastic films like I Swear, which really make a difference and really inspire us. But the question is, why don't they get a platform? Well, the long and short of it is that the people with the means of producing those films and distributing them and making them have a big reach, they don't want to uplift humanity and inspire humanity, because when we thrive, then we could stand up, and we could stand up against them and revolt against them. So anything that helps us breathe, anything that helps us come together, communicate better, all of these very deep and simple things that a film has to do for it to be called inspiring or for it to be nutritionally valuable, they just don't want to do that. They avoid that really like the plague, because they're empowering their enemy if they do that for us. And so that's why I think you get junk cinema like Pulp Fiction. You know, as much as people get excited by Pulp Fiction, what does it actually give you? What have you taken forward in your life and that you've learned from Pulp Fiction, you know? And where did it actually move you at a deep level? I mean, of course, it's very erotic and very tense and gripping and violent, and you know, you think that guy, when he's doing his silly dance with that woman, you think, oh, they're gonna get it on and it's gonna be so hot, and then he's gonna get found out as well, and he's gonna get his throat slit, and so you've got this kind of mixture of anticipating this really kind of erotic, adulterous affair, followed by a very gruesome murder that's all going on, and you think it can happen, and you trust the film to depict that in a very shocking and graphic kind of way as well. And that's where the excitement comes from, when that iconic scene where they're doing the twist, and nothing more and nothing less. It's nothing inspiring. You're not inspiring people to dance, like, or anything like that. But anyway, there's been another shift where films, I don't think, even do that anymore. They don't even grip us, just like, they don't grip us in the way that McDonald's is addictive and tasty anymore. And they're just really bad. And they're just really boring to watch. And in many cases, we just hate them. And that's part of it. So, historically, I want to talk about monopoly, or the emergence of monopoly in capitalism, and why that changes a lot of things in the media. So previously, you had different producers had to compete, different media outlets had to compete to make profit and survive. Now, and I think that this dilemma between needing to be popular, needing to be liked, but also not wanting to uplift the audience and inspire them, I think that produced people like Quentin Tarantino, who are, really skilled scientists with violence and eros, which get people hooked and get people excited and grip people through the film, but don't uplift anyone ever. And I think that's what that produced, yeah. And they had to, so they were still competing to be liked and to be exciting against each other, different producers. But I think as monopoly continues, and the all of Hollywood is basically one enterprise, one cartel, one effective monopoly, then they don't need to be liked. And for heaven's sake, they know that no one is going to like the film. When they made Rings of Power, they've got AI, they've got prediction powers like you wouldn't believe, and they know that no one is going to like it, yeah. But that's not the point. They don't need people to like it. It's all a big cartel, it's all a big jerk circle, and they've got the means not only of making crap, but shoving the crap down our throats and making a profit out of it. And that's how it goes. So we had the junk era, and I think now we have the bugs, the eating bugs era. Just like we had McDonald's, people like it, people go there and they enjoy it, but it's nutritionally crap. And now the next era, we're being told, is going to be the era where you will eat bugs, so it's not even tasty anymore. Because they don't need to, because the same reason, yeah, because what else are you going to eat when it's one monopoly producing all the food, and they say, well, all we've got for you today is bugs. You see?